Fuzzle Bukkit.
Hey everyone, welcome to Fuzzle Bukkit. I'm Kenning, and this week we'll be going over a rogue deck for Hearthstone. Now I normally don't play rogues. I like them, just usually not very effective with them and I have a hard time climbing the ladder. However, I'm over on Hearthstone looking at the week's top decks, most popular, that type of thing. You know, it's on the front page, they've got several decks and, you know, the upvotes and everything. And there's a rogue deck up there, and I'm like, yeah, sure, sounds like fun. I haven't played a rogue in a while. Let's see what happens. Lo and behold, it decided for me that it wanted to be the feature deck for the week. That's right, it's a fun deck called Dreadmaker's Nightblade Rogue. Now, looking at the deck here over on the other monitor, there's no Nightblades in this deck. I'm not sure where the name came from. I'm assuming it's left over from when there were Nightblades in the deck. But anyway, come along as we try out the Dreadmaker's Nightblade Rogue deck and see what you think. Alright, so I've already pre-built the Nightblade deck here, so why don't we go ahead and take a look at it real quick. It's a pretty basic deck, and the concept of the... Pretty basic deck. I guess you could say that about any deck, right? Okay, so the concept of this deck, put it that way, is early game you're pretty much trying to control the board in the sense that it's nice if you have minions on the board, but it's more important that your opponent does not. So do whatever you can to keep your opponent from playing any minions on the board. Control style, right? Excuse me. And then the premise is mid-game is when you want to start making your moves. It is kind of a mid-range deck, but you still want to maintain board control. Start chipping away at your opponent's health using spells and combos and that type of thing. Preparing yourself for your big hits in the end, which are predominantly, it seems like Leeroy Jenkins. Slash, we've got some Shadowsteps in here, so that's 12 damage, not including any Abusive Sergeants or any other buffs or that type of thing. So it's kind of a controlled chip away mid-game and then hit him in the end, take down. I'm not sure how high you can combo with this deck, but I'm guessing if your opponent's in about the 15 health range, he's danger zone and you can pretty much take him out. So, quick rundown of the deck list. 2 Backstabs. Backstabs are probably one of your mulligans. When you start out, you want to, if you have a Backstab, keep it. Shadowsteps, these are used to, to return a friendly minion to your hand, and there's a lot of combos and things going on. Quick example, Abusive Sergeant, give a minion +2, bring him back, drops his cost back to 0 with a Shadowstep, call him out again, give that same minion another +2, or you can give your Leeroy +2, or that's just one of the examples. Then we've got 2 Deadly Poisons, of course, that couples with your weapon. The 2 Abusive Sergeants kind of already went over this. It's your +2 minion. This is also a minion that you can play turn 1 if you have them. If you mulligan into them, it's okay to not have that +2 attack battle cry. It's nice, but you can't just sit there and play nothing forever, right? So it's an okay 1-drop card just on its own. 2 Blade Furies. This can potentially, and reading the notes over here on how to play this deck, I haven't been able to do it yet, but it essentially can give you more than a Consecrate. So for example, you have your basic weapon, give yourself a +2 Deadly Poison, that becomes 3, and you Blade Fury for 2, which 2 + 1 mana is 3 mana instead of 4, which is a Consecrate. Following me? Consecrate does 2 damage, Blade Fury now does 3 damage. Pretty cool combo if you ask me. So, that's one of the reasons Blade Fury's in here. Another reason is because your rush decks, well, you have to have somebody to control those rush decks. That's a good AoE. Eviscerate, use Eviscerate as you normally would in any other rogue deck. It's your 2 or 4 combo. It's just a great card to have. There is a sap in here. Now, the reason... I kind of like the card, but the original creator had the sap instead of an assassinate because it slows your opponent down more, and he felt that he had better play with a sap, better gameplay with a sap than with a assassinate. It's up to you. You can switch those out if you want. Currently, the original poster of this deck is rank 7, rank 8, and there's some examples on there. So again, it's play preference and how you want to play it, but that's the explanation he gave for sap, and I tend to agree with it. That's how I like to play too, is to slow down your opponent. Now, the Acidic Swamp Ooze, the original deck used... Hold on, what did they use? Something I wasn't too happy about. 2 Loot Hoarders. And he does make a comment. He or she, actually. I'm not really sure. that the loot hoarders in the deck are working okay, but they are easily replaceable, possibly with Acidic Swamp Ooze. I took that cue and said, well, heck yeah, I'm going to run an Acidic Swamp Ooze. Not two, but I do run one for dealing with various weapons and things. And we all know it's a great 2-drop. It also gives you more of a early game mulligan card selection. Although I guess you could keep loot hoarder in your hand too. But really, you want to have cards in your hand that will either and put a lot of tempo on the board quickly, or spells such as your Backstab to be able to remove your opponent's tempo. Bloodmage Thalnos is a great legendary, and it works really well in rogue decks. Just remember, don't play Thalnos by himself on turn 2, or by himself really ever. He's a combo card, right? Bloodsail Raider is amazing in this deck because, of course, we're running your hero power ability, and then you've got your Perdition's Blade, which is the next one here, 2 Perdition's Blade, which gives you a +2 to your Bloodsail Raider, and it also has that combo effect too, that Battlecry / combo effect. Fan of Knives is one of the other cards that I put in here when removing the Loot Hoarder, because this deck does need some card draw, and I felt Fan of Knives was probably what suited me the best. Shiv is another example, but that's only 1 damage for 1 card. A Fan of Knives, especially an aggro deck such as a Murloc deck or your Hunter deck where you've got a lot of 1 health creatures, I would like to have the Fan of Knives for 1 extra mana. Your Shiv is 2. Fan of Knives is 3, and it can potentially clear a lot more. But either way, that card is really there, whether it's Fan of Knives or Shiv, for a card draw. So, bottom line is card draw. Big Game Hunter is here because you need to sometimes deal with your druids, your heavy taunts, that type of thing. And what's cool about this is you can actually Big Game Hunter, Shadowstep, reducing his cost to 1, and for 4 mana, remove 2 creatures with 7 or more health. 7 or more attack, I'm sorry. That's kind of cool. Of course, you have to have both cards in your hand to perform the combo, but it seems to be working out okay. I'm not having too many problems removing large creatures with this 1 Big Game Hunter. SI Agent, we all know, is kind of a staple in rogue decks. Deal 2 damage. It's a great 3/3 drop on its own, even if you can't get that combo. Leeroy Jenkins is here as one of the finishers. Of course, you can drop him down 6 damage to the hero, Shadow Step him, bring him back. That's another 6 damage. That's 12 right off the bat. So you can see where quickly you can get your opponent down to 15 health. Is chip away half of his health, and then the next half is gone in the next round. So that's really the main reason Leeroy's here, and that's the main reason Leeroy's in any deck, right? He's a finisher. Sen'jin Shieldmasta is here because sometimes things don't work out. You need to taunt it up a little, right? Assassins, and there's no other taunts in here. So the 4-cost 4/5 Yeti the Yeti's a great card, but in this particular deck, it has no other taunts, and sometimes you need to stop the bleeding. So Assassin's Blade, there's only one of these, mainly because, and I agree with the original poster's comments, that it's got 4 durability. Once you play Assassin's Blade, there's not very many chances where you're actually going to run through all 4 durability and have a need for another Assassin's Blade. That's 4 shots with that, or 3 plus a Blade Fury. So, based on the durability, there's only one in the deck. Azure Drakes are great for rogues. You get spell damage, you got draw a card, you got a 4/4 on the board. Spell damage with any one of these spells is really amazingly powerful. And Sprint is here. It's kind of meh, not really. I like the card. I like the fact that you can draw 4 cards, but that 7 mana is really... It seems to be difficult to play in this deck effectively and not lose tempo. And I guess that kind of makes sense. You're playing any 1 card for 7 mana that doesn't have any effect on the board whatsoever. Sure, you're going to lose tempo, but I've played it in most of the matches that I've tried this deck out in, and it doesn't hurt me too bad, but that may... I don't know. It's nice to have the 4 cards, but the Sprint just is such a game slower that I'm not sure if that fits in here or not, but until it really becomes a problem, I'm going to leave it in. So, anyway, enough of talking. Let's get into the gameplay, shall we?
Valera versus Gul'dan.
Alright, a Warlock. So this might be good. This might show how the deck fares against, aggro. And because the big game hunter's in here, it may show how it fares against the handlock. So we got those two options. So, according to Mulligan rules for this deck, Bloodsail Raider is not something you necessarily want to keep right off the bat, because you want to use that with your weapon. SI7 Agent is something you probably want to keep right off the bat. Bloodmage Thalnos, no. I am going to keep these three, however, because I have a 2-3-4 play, and it just seems to work out that way. Bloodsail Raider is not the optimal pick, mainly because you really it's there for that battle cry, so you really don't want to use it on turn 2. But in this case, I'm going against a Warlock. It's going to be an aggro deck. I can't wait to have a weapon out to use my Bloodsail Raider, since I was given that as a good turn 2 drop. I am going to backstab this right away, take care of it. And then I can turn 2 Bloodsail Raider, turn 3 SI7 Agent, turn 4 Shieldmaster. I have a Perdition's Blade option there as well, along with the coin, so... that's not going to trade very well. Alright, so we're one short of our Blade Flurry, so we're going to take a little bit of damage. That's okay. We'll be alright. But I'm not going to...
Here we go.
Let's go ahead and do this. Alright, so I'll remove that 2 damage. I'll take the 2 damage to the face. Then next turn I can play my Bloodsail Raider, and I can Blade Flurry. There's... it looks to me like it's going to be a rush deck. I don't see any indication that this is a hand lock. So we're going to go ahead and keep that board clear as much as possible. Yeah, that Blade Flurry is going to work out great for us now, so... This also works very similar in Hunter decks. This is going to work out really good, because we're going to backstab this. Then we are going to not Blade Flurry until I play my Bloodsail Raider. Thank you. Almost made a mistake there. Coin it up. Blade Flurry. And pass the turn. We've managed to keep his board clear. We haven't done the second half of this deck is, you know, first keep your opponent's board clear. Second part is chip away at your opponent's health. We haven't quite done that yet, but we're in a good position to do that now that we've got the tempo of the board controlled. Card advantage, yeah, we're about... okay, so yeah. Soulfire, okay. I'm happy with this. He loses a card. And we do have... okay, so Big Game Hunter's not going to come into play this particular game. We can put him on the board as a 4-2. I'm going to do my Shieldmaster. 1 for mana efficiency. 2 because I can use my Big Game Hunter behind the Sen'jin. Because of the low health. Excuse me. And 3 because it's a Warlock and he has a lot of charge rush cards. So that would prevent us taking any more damage. So he's life tapped. He's not getting the cards he wants. This is working in our favor very well. It looks like I'm going to Big Game Hunter.
I've got the beast in my sights.
And I'm not going to use my Dagger Mastery because I can use my Perdition's Blade. Although... okay, so I need to make a conscious decision. Do I want to Abusive Sergeant to rush him down? Yes, I do.
So
yes.
many
No.
options.
No, I don't.
Here we go.
I would have brought him down to 20 instead of 21. This way I maintain that card in my hand, so I have a little bit more card advantage. And I can also use that with my Leeroy, should I get the Leeroy, to buff up his damage. Drain life, okay. I put him behind the taunt, that saves half of the problem. The other half is, of course, the spells. Leopardome, that's a pretty poor card. Common in a Warlock deck, but that's a pretty poor card all around. Okay, we could run in for 2. We could draw a card, which I think I'm going to do. Yeah, we need some card draw. Not the card I needed. Not the card I needed at all. Alright. So, we'll just push that 2 damage in that way.
Here we go.
I'm really looking for the Leeroy finisher. I want to show you guys how that works. I would love to have the Leeroy Shadowstep combo to show you how that works. He's down to 15. With this deck, 15, I'm going to call the danger zone. You got 15 or lower on your opponent, So long as there's no taunts in your way, and you've got your Leeroy and your Shadowstep, you're doing pretty good. Bloodsail Raider. Okay, not gonna work. So 3, 4, 6. That'll be the play.
Fight, maggot.
We're gonna Perdition's Blade. And we're going to Bloodsail Raider.
Hey,
Push another
out.
5 damage in, and sure, we'll go ahead and push another 2 in, why not? That's the turn. This is a pretty good demonstration of how the deck plays out. Leeroy is not the only finisher and the only way to win with this deck. It is designed to do pretty much what we've done, which is control the board early, mid-game start chipping away at the opponent's health, and then late game going for the kill. Now, the kill is not grand and wondrous, it's kind of slow, but we're building up some momentum and we're starting to take away a little bit more each time. I was trying to talk and realize what the hell was going on. He's got the knife juggler out. It's alright. Not a problem. Unfortunately, we're 1 short, but I don't really feel like taking all that damage. Now, let's see. The other option would be we could Azure Drake. Leaves us with 3, so we could weapon up. We have 7 on the board. If we can bring him down to 1, which I'm going to go ahead and do. That's probably the better play. We're almost at lethal, so...
Here we go.
Because there's no taunt up,
Hey, lights out.
and we only need to do 1 damage to him, he's going to have to go through a taunt. He's only got 2 cards in his hand. It's highly, highly unlikely that he'll be able to kill us next round, and the following round we got him next turn, so... Or it's highly unlikely he'll be able to kill us this round, which means next round we got him. Wow, that's a value knife juggler right there. There was a little bit of risk involved. We wouldn't have been able to clear out all his opponents anyway. The risk involved would have been had he thrown a taunt of some sort. With a taunt, our plans might have been... well, they might not have worked out. So as scary as his board looks, without a taunt, he's got no cards. If he life taps, he doesn't have any mana to... Well, if he life taps, he's dead, right? That's another reason why you want to push that Warlock down low. And of course, there's the win. So, let me know what you think about this deck. This is the Dreadmaker's Nightblade Rogue that doesn't contain any Nightblades. Post in the comments below if you want to see any more footage of this particular deck in action. I also noticed early on, and I forgot to mention, I was playing in casual mode instead of ranked mode. Sorry, just wasn't paying attention. I was playing in casual mode earlier, testing the deck out, and forgot to switch over. So if you want to see it in ranked, or how it would fare in a particular rank setting, the original poster, you know, rank 7 or 8. I'm at rank 12 right now, I think. Gone down a little bit. Just post in the comments, like, subscribe, share, social stuff. And one more thing, stay tuned, because either Fuzzle Bukkit's first BattleNet giveaway, the video has already been posted or will be posted shortly. We are giving away 2 $20 BattleNet gift cards. So use it how you feel you want to use it. Stay tuned, watch for that contest, and I'll see you next time.